If you're a Black woman in America, your chances of dying from heart disease is greater than that of any other group in this country. See, the thing is, you could be doing all the right things. You could be moving your body. You could be eating the right foods. You could be staying away from cigarettes and keeping your blood pressure in check. You could be doing all of those seemingly right things and still be at risk. And you want to know why? Chronic stress. Yes, chronic stress is killing us. Okay, so I swear, as a Black woman, I feel like we are the most stressed out population in this country anyway, so it makes sense. But I've got you covered, goddesses. Okay, I've got you covered. I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can start reducing your stress levels starting today. I'm not going to just share with you like the run-of-the-mill strategies, like working out and meditating. It's talking about sensuality of the senses. I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can use sensuality to come into your body and get out of your head, because that's where all the stress be living anyway. So I got you covered. Yes. Welcome back to my channel, goddesses. I'm Unwind Internet, and if you are new here, we talk about all things holistic health. And think about it, everything can be related to health in some way. So like most topics are not like off topic here, right? So we talk about holistic health, we talk about entrepreneurship, and also we talk about mindset. So if any of those are your jam, make sure you click the subscribe button so we can stay in communication. You can get all the videos and we can learn and grow together. Okay, goddesses, I am so excited about this video today, okay, because I have been like on this journey, okay, and you all are seeing my journey, and it's awesome. We're taking this journey together. So in a video I published like last week or so, I talked about toxic productivity or addiction to productivity, because I'm someone who's like always go, and who can, sometimes be very in my masculine, and I'm like in this space where I'm like, you know what? Like that is not healthy. I have to step more into my divine feminine. So I have been like going down like this whole rabbit hole of learning more about divine femininity and what does that mean and what does that look like, right? So it's really helping me to just like shift my perspective in so many ways. But recently I was, reading this book called How Not to Die, and I'm like concentrating like on one chapter in particular right now, and it's talking about like heart disease, and I published a video talking about heart disease, so go check that out, right? But heart disease is not just like, you don't just get that from, just from your diet alone, right? It could be other factors, and stress is a huge factor for heart disease, right? And why? Because stress increases your blood pressure, and high blood pressure puts you in that risk category, right? And I was thinking about how I live my life, and I'm like, okay, I'm a health coach, for goodness sake, right? I help people achieve greater health. I help people, transition to a plant-based diet and to eat more whole foods. Like that's what I do. And I do that because I love to support people in, getting healthy. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, it's deeper than just the food that you eat, right? Literally, this invisible killer, right, is wreaking havoc on so many. And chronic stress, right, is a silent killer. And one of the things that I learned from just like reading about divine femininity is about sensuality, right? That's a huge part of divine femininity, is being able to tap into your sensuality. And when you think about it, when you tap into your sensuality, you are literally in your body, right? And when you're in your body, that's when you can feel safe. That's when you can feel grounded, right? But when you're like stressed and just constantly in your head, constantly in your mind about
what I gotta do, what comes next, who I gotta help, who I gotta serve, who I gotta do this, who need this, who got this, I gotta pay this bill, I gotta make this food,
like it is stressful, right? But when you tap into sensuality and sensual practices, it can help you literally turn the noise off, right? We maybe can't get rid of like all the external factors that are the stresses. We can't necessarily get rid of that, right? But we can control how it impacts us, how it impacts our internal world. So we literally have to do things on a daily basis to like give ourselves like a tune up, right? To give ourselves a tune up, or maybe like a tune down, right? I don't know, but to help us like bring that stress down and to just feel at peace, just to feel calm. Like it's not a luxury. Like self-care is not a luxury. Taking time out for yourself is not a luxury. Taking time to do sensual practices is not a luxury. It's a necessity that can literally keep you alive and can enhance your quality of life. So it's necessary. I want to just share some stats with you first. 1/2 of Black women in the United States have some form of cardiovascular disease, according to the American Heart Association. And Black women are more likely to die of heart disease and at a younger age than white women. That's stat number 1. Stat number 2 is greater stress may deepen the disparity. In the Jackson Heart Study, and you can Google this, the Jackson Heart Study, which is the largest study of cardiovascular disease in Black Americans, found that Black women report unusually high levels of chronic stress. Number 3, more chronic stress in these women were associated with more hypertension, which we know increases the risk of heart disease, of heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular diseases. Stat number 4. According to the CDC, heart disease is the leading cause of death for women in the United States and can affect women at any age, okay? I really want to highlight that. In a separate video that I talked about heart disease, I literally share that babies, okay, who died, they had signs of atherosclerosis. The first signs of it was called fatty streaks. So basically, that shows the heart disease can start developing before you even come out your mama's womb. Okay? It's crazy, right? In 2021, it was responsible for the deaths of about 1 in every 5 female deaths. Research has shown that only about half of U.S. women recognize that heart disease is their number 1 killer. Okay, I had to underline that, bold that, highlight that fact, okay? Because research has shown that only about half of U.S. women even know that this is an issue. We have to talk about stress, especially in Black women, especially in our Black goddesses. And, what set me out on this path is that, I am a single mother. I'm building a business. I am, building my coaching business. I'm also building my YouTube business, being a content creator. So there is a lot of stress there. And I'm like, okay, I want to reach my goals, but I ain't trying to die prematurely, right? So what I got to do? So like I said, I've been doing all of my studying of divine femininity and really stepping into your body is such a major benefit and it's such a major reducer of stress. And I have done this stuff firsthand and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is life-changing. I got to share it with my people. So I was so excited to bring this information to you because once again, this is not to scare you. This is not to put fear in your heart. This is to empower you. Okay, empower you. So you're like, hey, I know what I need to do to stack the odds in my favor. And once again, it's not about escaping death. We know that we're all going to die, right? But we don't have to expedite that stuff, right? Okay, we ain't got to expedite it. So let's work on our stress levels. So I'm going to share with you what is the difference between chronic stress and just everyday stress. It's really important to make the differentiation between those two first. Okay, so what is the difference, right? Because stress is just a part of life, right? You live in America, you're going to deal with some stress. If you live anywhere, there's probably some level of stress that you're going to encounter, right? One is time frame. So chronic stress persists over an extended, long period of time, okay? Regular stress is more temporary and acute, okay? So chronic stress can last for months or years, while regular stress may last for only a few days or a few weeks. So for example, say you're working and you have a project that you need to do and you're under deadline and that's stressful, but once you turn it in, you're done, the stress is gone. So you're not chronically stressed. It was just a temporary type of event that caused you to be stressed, right? So time frame. Another way to see the difference between the two is frequency. So chronic stress is experienced frequently and consistently, sometimes even daily. Regular stress occurs more sporadically or is triggered by, once again, certain events. So it's one-off events that occur that you're hey, okay, this is stressful, but chronic stress is just every day. It's just constantly there. Number 3 is impact. Okay, so chronic stress has more severe and long-lasting effects on physical and emotional and mental health, like once again, increased risk for heart disease, anxiety, depression, and more. Okay, so regular stress has less extreme effects that go away once the stressor is removed. And lastly, management. Chronic stress is harder to manage as it persists even when external stressors like aren't even there or they've been removed. Okay, so it often requires long-term lifestyle changes. So basically, like the way to manage chronic stress is you got to do stuff daily. Okay, you can't just do stuff like one time or one time a month or once every year and think you're going to be good. Chronic stress, you got to be doing stuff daily to minimize those stress levels, right? So okay, so now we're in the part where I tell you what you can do about it, right? Like this is about empowerment. So I'm going to share with you 5 strategies, 5 sensual practices that you can start implementing today. You may need to get some things, right? But you can start implementing them pretty soon, right? To help reduce your stress levels. So number 1, yoni steaming. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I discovered yoni steaming like 2 years ago. I did not discover it for stress reduction purposes. I discovered it because I was looking for ways to just enhance my vaginal health, right? And yoni steaming is like an ancient procedure that's been done like for many years, like hundreds and hundreds of years. And basically, like you can sit on a pot and the steam hits your yoni. Okay, and it just helps like with a lot of things, but it really helps to maintain the integrity of your vaginal health, right? But the thing is, it's so relaxing. Like it's not just like physical benefits, it's like emotional benefits. When I would sit on it, I just felt so calm. Like I just felt like all of the stress from the day, all the stress from the week was just like seeping out of me, and it just feels so good, and it's nice and warm. So it's like really amazing, like, you know, in the winter time, the winter months when you just, you know, your body's just cold, you need a little extra warmth, but it's good like all year round. So yoni steaming, so it can help release stress, and then you feel the steam, right? It helps you to be present. It helps you to really come into your body because you're still. And then the steam just floats up, and then, you know, all the different herbs you may have in there. It's like a whole like sensory experience. And you compare this actually with another strategy I'm gonna share with you in a little bit. But yoni steaming, yes, if you have not tried it, you have got to try yoni steaming, okay? Because there's a lot of benefits. It's stress reduction, but also, you know, it's, you know, ladies, your partners, your spouses will probably thank you. Okay, so do your research. I ain't gonna share all of the ins and outs of yoni steaming. I may make another video about that, but check it out. It's powerful, and it really helps you to come into your body. I love it. Like, I love it. So I decided to include a video of like the yoni steaming process. So I have my herbs. I get them off of Etsy. And this is my yoni steam pot. Like, I don't remember where I got it from, honestly. I purchased it from a consultant who like sold these things. But this is a really awesome way to do a yoni steam because you won't like burn yourself. So I put my herbs in. I put spring water in, okay? Not that like spigot water. You want to make sure you're putting the goodness in your vaginal area, right? So I put my herbs in, I put my water in. And the cool thing about this is that it's electric. So you just, you know, plug it up and then wait till it gets hot enough, right? And I hate putting this thing together. Sometimes, like, I have the hardest time. But anyway, I'm waiting for it to get hot, right? So I put it on 5. And then after a while, it starts to steam. And then I know it's time for me to sit. So I don't have like a special yoni steam cover. They be selling them on Amazon. I don't use that. I just use what I have at home. I put on my nice little dress, my little wraparound dress, and then I put a sheet around me because you want to make sure you're holding in the heat, right? So the heat can go to your yoni. So I wrap a sheet around me, get it nice and tight, and then I grab a blanket. And I have a towel underneath of me. So I have a dress, I have a towel underneath, and then I have the sheet, and then I have the blanket, and I'm all set to go. And this feels so good. Okay, tip number 2 is to touch my body. It's to caress yourself, right? It's to caress your body, like to literally touch yourself. And it doesn't have to be like in a sexual way. It's just to touch yourself. Like even when you are, getting out the shower and you're moisturizing, like how many times have you you got the shower, you hurry up and put some stuff on and you like, okay, put my lotion on, I'm ready to go. Like, what just happened there? Like, what just happened, right? That was way too fast. So like taking the time to really caress your body, to see like how it feels when you just stroke your arm or your neck, right? Or your thighs, right? Like really touching yourself. One of the senses, right, is touch, right? So touching yourself. See how that feels. And like as someone who suffers from like anxiety, depression, and like all of it, right? Like I realized that when I caress my body, like it really helps to bring me back to the present moment. So it literally helps me to get out of my head, right, and into my body. It's so soothing. So you could do this if you just use your hands just to rub your body, or you could use your favorite, your body butter or your shea butter or whatever the case may be. But take time to actually touch your body, to see how it feels, to see how softly you could touch yourself and what does it do. Like the other day, like I touched myself, I was touching my leg, I think. And I literally started to shiver a little bit. Like it was like, it just felt really good to me. And sometimes you may experience that with a partner, but to be able to give yourself that, it is powerful, okay? And it literally helps you to come into your body, okay? Strategy number 3 is to move, okay? So I know you're like, okay, Amai, you said you wouldn't say about exercising. But girl, we gotta do movement, right? We gotta do movement. But specifically, I'm talking about your stretches, like your hip openers, your yoga poses, and even dancing. So yes, movements like doing your hip openers and dancing is so powerful because we hold a lot of tension and stress in our hips. So when we are intentional about opening them up and moving them, we release that tension, we release that stagnant energy, right? So movement, hip openers, y'all, I have been doing hip openers every day, and it's intense. One day I was doing hip openers and I literally just started crying. I was like, I don't even know where the tears came from, okay? I don't know. I do not know, but my body was letting go of something that no longer served it, okay? So really being intentional about doing your stretches. You can do it, in the rising when you get up. You can make it part of your routine. You can do it at night before you go to bed to just help you release tension and stress from your body. Plus, flexibility is good, ladies, okay? For more than one reason. So yes, get your flexibility on, get your movement on, and wind those hips, wind. I may do a little video. I don't know. I may do a little video, a little movement video. I don't know, but you gotta move them hips, ladies, okay? It is good for you. It's good for your health. It is good for your mind. And it's good to reduce the stress, okay? Okay, next one. Of course, y'all probably knew that was coming. Probably knew this was coming, but sex or self-pleasure, okay? Because you don't have to have somebody else there. It could be you or a partner. It could be you with yourself, right? But being able to really just let go, because when you are in the, I don't want to say make love because not everybody making love out there, but but when you are having sex, that is the most ultimate, most vulnerable time, right? The position to find you in, right, is so vulnerable. It's to when you're having sex with a partner, right? Or when you're giving yourself pleasure. And the thing is, sometimes you can be all in your head. You're thinking about all the stuff you gotta do, who you gotta pick up, what bill you gotta pay, and you're all in your head. So it really helps when you have sex to be intentional about being in your body, and all these other practices can even help you with that, okay? So caressing yourself really helps to ground you, right? So maybe before you have sex or before you pleasure yourself, like you really focus on like what feels good, what brings you into your body, right? But sex, like it's all the senses, right? Touch, taste, smell, feel, like it could be all the senses. You can utilize all the senses when it comes to sex, right? So yes, ladies, like sex is important. I know sometimes it'd be like, okay, I'm stressed. I don't got time. I don't want to. No. Sex and self-pleasure is self-care, because when you release orgasms, okay? And we got to talk about that, because most women don't achieve orgasms. Like, but that's a whole other story. But when you have orgasm, right, like it literally makes you just feel so amazing, right? And you just feel so free and good, right? It's like the ultimate stress reduction. Okay, it reduces your stress. I don't know about you. Okay, but it definitely reduces my stress. Okay, from the research, it says it reduces stress as well. So it's not something that you're like, oh my goodness, I'm too stressed to make love. I'm too stressed to have sex. I'm too stressed to give myself pleasure. Because I am so stressed, I need to make sure that I am doing these things that bring me pleasure, that make me feel good, that drop me into my body. Because when you do that, it prepares you for all the other stuff that we got to deal with. Okay. And the last one I'm going to share with you is tapping into the power of scent. Okay, so of course, like you could pair some of these together and whatever, but like tap into the power of scent. Smell is just so powerful, right? Like it's so powerful. And I know like I could smell something and then I just feel like, you know, it could just literally put you at ease. So really like discover what scents do you like? What aromatherapy like oils do you like? You know, like experiment, explore, because the power of scent can literally reduce your stress levels. Just smelling something. Like I like to have incense. It puts me in a good space, like, and it helps me to be more present. You know, when I smell something good, it like brings me into the present moment, which means it drops me into my body and out of my head. So if you're like, hey, you know, I already do all those sensual practices, honey, but my diet is trash, I got you. Okay, so I created a free guidebook called the Plant Power Guide, and it comes out of my signature coaching program, Health Coach in a Box, where I walk clients on how to eliminate the standard American diet that is killing you and adopt a whole foods plant-based diet. But I grabbed a couple things out of this to, you know, give to my people for free. You know, I know some people, they like the free 99. So you get a SMART goal cheat sheet. So a lot of times when people are trying to make changes in their diet, they literally make too many changes at once and then they get overwhelmed and they go right back to the way they used to eat. So I literally walk it out for you, 6 months worth of small action steps you can take to get you from the standard American diet to a whole foods plant-based diet. I help you to take it slow. And if 6 months is too fast, hey, you can stick with one goal for a month, for goodness sake, and make it a whole year program, right? But I tell you what to do step by step. But not only that, I give you a grocery store guide. A lot of times when you're trying to make changes in your diet, you don't know what to eat. You go into the grocery store and you're confused. So you end up just buying the same stuff that you used to buy because you don't even know what to buy to be healthier. So I got you covered. On the grocery store list, I literally walk it out for you, okay? I break it down like by aisle, foods that you can buy. And I even have a part where I talk about meat alternatives on this grocery store guide. So maybe you're like, hey, okay, I think I'm ready. I want to start, you know, eating all the meats, right? So on the grocery store guide, I literally have a section that gives you meat alternatives. Okay, so I got you covered. So you can download that for free. In my bio is under Plant Power Guide. All right, goddesses, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you have some idea of some sensual practices that you can bring into your life to help reduce your stress. We've got to get back into our bodies because that is what's going to help save us, okay? We can't just stay in our head. We got to get into our bodies. So once again, thank you for hanging out with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.